Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified business and executive coach. I am an Aspire Action Coach based here in the Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio areas. We're thrilled to have you join us. I think you're going to love this inspiring message. Founder, been in the business for over 5 years now. Somebody who's really helping business leaders across many industries really perform to the next level. So, if you're new to the series, we're thrilled to have you join us. We encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you can receive future messages like you're going to hear today from Angie Dodge, who is a self-proclaimed accidental entrepreneur here. She's also the founder and CEO of Moxie Virtual Solutions. They really support high-performing leaders, really help them to feel they're the X factor for leaders across many types of businesses to get and perform at the next level. So without further ado, Angie Dodge, welcome to the spotlight. Take a second, tell us a little bit more about Moxie
Yeah.
and how did you get started in the virtual assistant type business?
Yeah. So thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Love talking about my business. So thank you for giving me a platform to do that. Yeah. So I've been in business for 5 years and I started this path from, just I was an executive assistant in the corporate space at the C-suite level for 20 some odd years. And I was really good at it. I had the reputation of if you want something done, give it to Angie. Along the way, I picked up an HR degree, and one thing led to another. I found myself without a job, and the only thing that was coming my way were boutique consulting firms wanting contracted administrative service uh, support. And one thing led to another. That's why I say it's accidental. I had no plan for this. This was never on my vision board. I never had thought about owning my own business, but I've had the opportunity to do what I do best, my experience, my reputation, and bring it to this virtual space to help small businesses.
Yeah. Maybe take a second, describe your team. Like,
And yeah, absolutely. So our team they're all contractors. They, support, not any one person is full time. To be full time, they support several different clients, but they all have a skill set and the attitude of helping our clients to get it done and help our clients grow their business by offering the administrative support. And that administrative support is a broad term because we're talking everything from calendar and email to Google file cleanup to social media, marketing, lead generation, CRM updates, creating the CRM, communication, research. Now, we are proficient in AI. Every day there's something. There's, tons of project management tools out there. Whatever your business needs, I've created a database, if you will, of talented assistants. And some of these, assistants only work at night doing project work. They're full-time employees during the day. They want to make some extra money, so they do project work on the back end. So whatever you need, we figure it out. We're problem solvers and we get it done.
yeah, no, I'm glad you highlighted that breadth of services. In my
Mhm.
role as I work with business leaders and business owners, one of the very first things we focus on is their time. It's tending to be the scarcest asset resource within the business. So, being able to unlock that through a whole myriad of services you talked about there is just key.
Yes. Well, and most of the time, and I'll throw this out here now, Forbes put out a number which is staggering, which would surprise most people. The average busy business owner, so that average is 40 to 50 hours a week, spends 68% of their time in admin work. So only 32, so less than 50% of their time is spent growing their business.
Mhm.
And that's just, you hear it all the time. I don't have enough, I don't make enough money to hire help. Well, you'll never make enough money if you continually are doing the wrong things for your business. So let the people who know how to help you, let us come in and help you.
Well, hey, an extension of that same thought right there. So, who are like an ideal client for you? So, somebody's listening into this, they say, "Hey, you know what? Actually, I could use that support."
Sure. So, we really target the small business owners, solopreneurs, boutique consulting firms, nonprofit business owners who feel the pain, know they need the help out of that proof of concept, but they also don't want to commit to hiring full time or permanent help. They don't want a W-2. So, we come in on a contracted basis anywhere. I would say ev- anywhere between 10 to 15 hours a week is most people have enough work to keep an assistant busy. Now, if you are a full-time business owner and you're in a space where you're ready to level up and grow, then you're looking at 20 to 30, at least 20 hours a week for sure.
And you can support either of
Oh
those
yeah, we
those
can
scenarios.
support all
Yeah.
of that. Absolutely. We offer different packages to help with that. We also, offer we're offering a great service right now where for those business owners who are a bit shy about committing, we offer a VA for a day. You get one of our best assistants for 5 hours to help you do whatever you need them to do, whether it's to create content, clean up your files, set up some automations. It gives you a great little taste of what it could look for you moving forward.
Yeah, it's a great way to kind of get a sense of the value and also
Absolutely.
achieves at least a beginning to that spring cleaning that
Yes,
probably all of us could
absolutely.
benefit from in our business and our
Hmm.
systems. Oh, good.
Yes, for sure.
So what have been 5 years in, you've had some solid growth, it sounds. What have been your keys to growth, how you market and grow the business?
So, I I'm laughing because these are questions that are hard because I feel like I'm just constantly in a state of growth. I'm always learning. I think part of it for me is patience. I've had to learn how to have some patience. And it's interesting. I'll just tell a quick story. The young lady who does my social media, she gets really frustrated with me because in my mind, I've been around for 5 years. But it hasn't been until probably this last year where we really have committed to our social media, creating a presence for me out there so people can get to know me. And I'm like ready for yeah, I'm ready for the next big boom, right? And that's something for people to understand that this, there's things that you have to do and you have to set yourself up properly for. And one of the things is getting in this virtual space, they have to trust you. People need to trust you and getting to that space. So I'm just constantly learning that sometimes I need to be patient where I want to go fast and go fast where I want to be patient.
Good. Very good. But is there a particular marketing strategy,
Sure, we're
referrals,
in
social
LinkedIn.
media, you name it?
Yeah. So because we are in the virtual space now, I am also in Cincinnati. I have a huge client base in Cincinnati because we do get a lot of referrals. I also do a lot of local networking, and I refuse to let those amazing people I network with go to other resources. So yeah, I do whatever it is that we need to do to help those people locally. But from a virtual perspective, really it is understanding how to utilize social media to sell your business and to sell yourself. So I'm on LinkedIn religiously. We're doing reels and it's interesting for those of you who don't know much about social media, people love to see your pictures and they love to watch your videos. They want to get to know you.
Yep.
Free tip. So you
Video.
need to do your videos if you want to sell your business.
Absolutely. I love it. So 5 years in, every entrepreneurial journey has some hills and valleys, some twists and turns. Maybe walk us through a past challenge that you've had to overcome, and what did you learn from that?
Oh my goodness. Um, you know, every day, whether it's having lost a client or even having lost an assistant, going back and just really being honest with yourself about what went wrong. But I do this with my team on a daily basis because we may be really good at what we do, but we're not perfect. And so we do mess up. And I think just sitting back and thinking about why those mistakes happen, and to set yourself up a little bit differently. But I also am grateful for those moments because I do believe where you are the most uncomfortable, is where you learn and grow the most. And I have to say that I have probably been uncomfortable every day for the past 5 years since starting this, without a doubt.
But
Without a doubt.
so how do you feel like so you've been uncomfortable, a lot of new elements, but how do you
Yes.
feel like you've grown as a leader, right, during
So
that time?
funny, the leadership part has always been easy for me, but because I'm very direct and very transparent. I accept the fact that, my team is not perfect. I have high expectations and I'm very vocal about those expectations. And I work with my team on a daily basis. I am always talking to them. I am always coaching them. I am helping them with the work because I know the types of clients that we're going after. We go after high level clients. They are executives in their own right. Um, and I know the kind of service that they expect. So I'm with them through the trenches all the time. But that's my
So
favorite thing to do, honestly.
your favorite thing is the
My
trenches?
favorite thing is to my favorite thing is dealing with the difficult clients, honestly, and getting
Ah,
my team in a space where they can support them the way they need to be supported. That to me, that's fun for me.
the difficult clients. They make
Well,
us
and I
better. They
say
make
that
us better, right? For all of us.
I was a
And we all have
difficult.
them,
Yes, we
right?
do all have them. And the funny thing is they just want what they want. And that's all I want as well. So I can relate.
So that's kind of looking back as you look forward now, as you continue
Yes.
to grow. What's the current challenge you have in front of you as we sit here this year?
Just our sales, just learning how to speed up our sales process, getting clients faster. We've always struggled with moving that needle. We get great clients that stay with us for a long period of time, which is amazing. So we grow with them, but it's just I would love to see us, get 5 clients a month as opposed to 5 clients a quarter. So that would be ideal. So if anybody's really good at teaching that, please, hook me up with that because I would love to learn that.
Okay. We love it.
Mm.
So 5 years in, good traction, always more to do. But what's your
Yes.
long-term dream, your vision? If you look, I don't know, 5, 10 years down the road, for the business.
So my vision is 7 figures, and then eventually have enough clients where I can have somebody operating the agency side. So I can do, where my passion is really is developing strong VAs. And, I have an expectation that a lot of people don't have of what that should look like. And that's how I would want them to perform so that they are making the best money that they can make and supporting the highest level of executive they can. So doing a certification course, coaching, mentoring, speaking, those kinds of things. I feel it's kind of what every business owner likes to do after they've started their own business.
Well, it's kind of your craft, right?
Yes,
In many
yes,
regards, right? So
yes.
especially.
Absolutely. And I
So
do enjoy coaching the clients as well because not all clients understand, not all business owners know how to delegate. They don't always know what they can delegate. So I really coach both sides. I help our clients understand what they can let go of, and it's okay. I'll hold their hand for a while until they get comfortable with it.
good. Very good. I'm curious, is there something you see as a common theme as you work with executives that
Yeah, that they don't think that they need the help. I go back to that number, that's 68%, and that's just for the average business owner, a busy person. And I think to myself all the time, the disservice that you are truly doing for your growth and the magic that happens when you get a great assistant supporting the ideal client for them and all the things that can happen. And, I have seen us grow businesses. We helped grow a business during COVID with my assistant only supporting the team for 10 hours a week.
yeah.
So, there's great things can happen.
Yeah.
When you're open to having the conversation and I'll say the differentiator between us, and I don't know if you're going to ask this or not, but it's important for people to know, is that we're not a cookie cutter agency. I believe in relationships and we truly listen to our clients' needs. So if you just need 2 hours of maybe you just need a project. Maybe you don't really need full-time help or whatever that looks like. We listen and we create a package that is designed specifically for you.
So is there something in your process that you make sure you capture those needs?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the things that we offer, and we do a smaller version of it, but right now we're offering a 90 for $97, which is an amazing value. It's an operations audit. We send you a million and one questions to answer, and it's all about how your back end runs. And then I work my magic with it, and then we sit down for an hour. We go over the results of the audit to find where the gaps are in your back end, and we come up with a plan for you. Now, whether or not you utilize our services, that's irrelevant. What we want to do is get you on a path of filling the gaps, however you want to do it. Whether it's through technology, through a person, doing away with a part of your business that's not working for you, whatever that looks like, we want to see other businesses thrive and be successful as well.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that because that, $97. I mean, that's nothing when you can find a few unlocks there. And oftentimes the executive or the
Absolutely.
owner, they just don't realize the tools that are out there and
Right.
readily at their disposal, nor do they necessarily, my learning is, nor do they realize how them being so constrained on their time is capping the rest of their team
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're inaccessible, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my recommendation is for anyone, just get themselves a notebook, sit it next to you. Anytime that you get that feeling of dread of having to do something, write down what that is, how long it took you to do it. At the end of the week, add up all of that time and think about what you could be doing. Let's just say it's 5 hours. What could you do for 5 hours in that week?
Mhm.
You could find five new clients. You could have
Mhm.
played racquetball, got some exercise, spent an extra hour with your kids, What does that look like? What is important to you?
So you mentioned, hey, in your dream for the business is somebody more running the agency side, and you focus more on the VA
Mhm.
development and growth and that. Walk us through, what are your keys now to finding, talented, committed, passionate VAs and building the team and retaining them? I mean, all industries struggle from a talent perspective right
Sure.
now, right?
To be on, I do there's a lot of groups on Facebook that are targeted towards VAs. I also, I'll tell you quite honestly, the VAs that I have, VAs that they have worked alongside with. Um, and I talk to a lot of people who are in this role, and it's always a skill set. They don't have to be an assistant. They have to have a certain skill set, though. So you have to be a natural problem solver. You just have to be curious. How do you fix, just and also in some ways a caretaker, if you will, because you want somebody, you want to give that person the support that they need to succeed. So there's a certain skill set that I look for, and I find them everywhere. I
Okay.
mean, I'll just be talking to somebody, in the doctor's office, and they say, "Yeah, I need to make some extra money." I'm like, "What do you do? What do you like? What are you good at? Are you tech savvy? Do you have at least 10 to 15 extra hours a week? Are you open to direct feedback?" That's my biggest thing is the direct feedback because sometimes people get their feelings hurt. So I try not to do that.
So what are your a common challenge, right? So what are your keys in terms of providing that direct feedback?
I just I give it. That's part of my, there's a couple things to work with me. You have to have transparent, be open to transparent conversations, and you have to be able to take and give direct feedback. That means giving direct feedback to me and being comfortable with that, being able to give feedback to the clients when they need it, um, and just be open to all of those things.
Mhm.
And, if they can do that and they can do the work, then I can help them, I can help develop them and do the rest.
So those are great keys to success. I'm curious,
Mhm.
Angie, what else been your keys to success so far, and hey, that you'd want to share with other business owners, especially maybe those that are newer on their journey. And so another way,
Yes.
sometimes I think about that is, what do you wish you knew then that you know
Oh
now?
my gosh, we don't have enough time left. I feel like that's a book. That definitely, or even a development plan. I should write that down. Right off the bat, I just said, if you get yourself an LLC, or if you take that step, get yourself an attorney, get yourself an accountant, a bookkeeper, and do not hesitate. Start writing down your processes right away. Really set yourself up for success. Find yourself a mentor or a coach. Be very specific as to the type of coach that, because you'll have many different coaches. I mean, at 5 years in, I'm positive I've had more coaches in my life now than I have had probably like teachers in school growing up. But you have, especially if you're a solopreneur and you're doing it on your own. I just think that those are the things you have to have. And then also, you know, understanding that you need to make time for yourself. And I laugh because I I've never slept the same, in these 5 years, I've never slept the same. Your sleep, it's done. It's over with until you probably retire. You'll never sleep the same way ever again because, um, yeah, everybody's like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, my business is my hobby.
Hobby.
It's everything. It is everything. But I wouldn't have it any other way, though. I'm not complaining, that's for sure.
Caution. You never sleep the same way again, right? So
Never.
that should be on when you fill out the LLC paperwork. That should be
Yeah,
like
you'll
right above the
never.
signature line.
Never, ever, ever. You'll never see. You'll wake up in the middle of the night, you'll have a great idea, or you'll have this dread of something else that you didn't do that you were supposed to do. But also, I think it's important that you do show some grace for yourself because it's hard. I read somewhere that the stress of being an entrepreneur is so it would break most normal people, the level of stress. And it's so true, but also the reward, especially for me, we get to help other businesses grow and see their dream. I mean, that's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
No, you've been part of that. So you seem a passionate learner here. So has there been a book or a podcast,
Yes,
speaker that's been in?
I just recently got into podcasts. I used to fall asleep when I was listening to them. So again, the whole sleep thing. But I am all about the Go Giver. It's some great principles on how to run your business. And it's very much in alignment with my values. I have a very strong faith, and truly, I believe God put me on this path. And it just makes it easier of how you want to run your business, what your expectation is, how you train how you train your staff, how you hire them. So I highly recommend it. It's an easy, quick read too.
Okay, Go
Nice.
Giver.
Yeah, the Go Giver.
Okay. So as we look to wrap up here, our time goes very quickly with us today. What are the best ways for folks to reach out, to connect with you, or to learn more about Moxie Virtual Solutions?
Yes, well, there is always our website at moxievirtualsolutions.com. You can also find us out on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Moxie Virtual Solutions. And then you can always email me directly, Angie at moxievirtualsolutions.com.
All right. And we'll have all that in the show notes for
Awesome.
folks to check out
Great.
as well. So that's good. So Angie Dodge, final question. What are you inspired by today?
Oh, goodness. I am inspired by my assistants. I got a great call this morning with with one of my favorite clients, I have to say, because she's just awesome. But they're all awesome. But just the work that they are doing together and the fact that she's helping this client grow and see her dreams, and that just keeps me going. That lack of sleep, that's what gets me out of bed every day and excited to do this. Is the fact that I have really smart, savvy assistants out there that can help other business owners, reach their dreams and their goals. That is inspiring to me.
Well, Angie Dodge, thank you so much for joining us today. Share your
Thank
story.
you.
You can just feel your energy for what you do, your
Oh,
passion
yeah,
for
thank
helping
you.
others and the impact it does. And no doubt there's great success ahead for you and the rest of
Thank
the
you.
folks, the team at
So that means I
Moxie.
can start sleeping normally.
Yes.
I start
Is that what you've
sleeping,
been waiting for? We should have had this call a long time ago. All
right?
right, all right. So,
Where were you 5 years ago?
okay, all right. So, so for our viewers, we're thrilled that you joined us today. Again, we encourage you to hit the like button. That helps to share the message as well. And again, hit subscribe if you haven't already, so you can receive future messages like this fun, lively, and inspiring message you heard from Angie Dodge here today. And so with that, Angie, again, thank you so much. And to our viewers, we hope you
Thank
all
you.
have a terrific day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.